What's going on, guys? Naz here on the Spooling Up channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video on my BMW E46 330 Ci. Don't normally make content on this car because I pretty much just leave it standard, and I don't actually do any of the repair work on this myself. But today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be having a look at one of the rear lights because it's actually getting water in it, and there's actually a water level now that you can see. So without further ado, let's go and have a look. Right, so this first started off with just a little bit of condensation, as you can see on the light lens, but this line running along here is actually water. I'll actually turn the light on so you can see it better, but it's time to sort that out. Right, so hopefully that makes everything a little bit more clear. You can see the water in there, you can see the condensation. So I'm just going to be removing this light and seeing what I can do to fix it today. Right, so with the boot lifted, I know a lot of the time water runs along this channel and out here through the bottom, but this here is actually a gasket as well, and if you look at it, it appears to be coming away. So if water's running behind that, it may actually find it really easy to get inside the light lens. So I'm going to remove the light lens. Okay, so I'm just going to start off by removing this light here, and there's a little tab next to the light lens that you can just push away from you, and you can pull off this whole boot interior light along with the black trim that it's mounted on, and then that reveals part of what we're going to have to look at next. Right, so as you can see, there are three 10mm nuts which are actually holding the light cluster unit in place. So I'm going to undo those and then see if it comes away from the body of the car. Right, so in just pulling the light lens away from the body of the car, you can see that there's it's quite wet down here. This actual gasket here seems to have done a really good job. It's still really clean, so I don't think water was actually getting in there. So although I bought that, I don't actually think I need to change that. I think what I need to look into is this part here. Now if I just slosh this around, you can see all the water in there, and what I've been doing is I've been tipping it at different angles to see if the water comes out of the light anywhere, because that might indicate to me where it got in, but it only seems to be coming out at the rear through where the bulbs are. So maybe that gasket at the back does actually have a fault with it, and maybe it is getting in there after all. So what I'll do is I'll change that, I'll put it all back together. Obviously I'm going to dry the light lens out, I'm going to take it apart and dry it with a blow dryer, and then I'll just keep an eye on it and see if it fills back up with water for now. Earlier on I mentioned a bulb holder, but there isn't actually a bulb holder in this car because it's a facelift model and it's got the cluster. I just want to show you something. There's water and it's able to drip out the side here. Now obviously that water's dripping out, but I don't know if that's how it got in. I know some people online, they've said that they have rubbed a bit of silicone around the corners of the light lens and everything's been okay since then. What I'm going to do for now is I'm going to take it in. As a lot of people have said online, you can get a hairdryer and blow hot air into the back. I'm going to try that, see if I can dry it out, get some clear silicone from B&Q or somewhere, and see if I can seal this up tonight. I mean, it's going to be getting dark soon, but I can just give it my best shot for now. Okay guys, the light lens is indoors drying. Just going to clean up all this dirt in the area so that it's ready to go back on. I'm going to have to buy some silicone because I've actually found that around this part of the light, obviously the other light that's indoors, it has come away a little bit, so there is a little gap there where rainwater could have gotten exactly where it's actually been getting out. So I'm going to have to seal that up once it's dry, get it back on the car, and I think that will do the job. So the light itself now is fully dry. There's no more water in it, no more condensation, water droplets, vapour, anything like that. It's completely clear. This, I would say, was the last area to become clear. It took quite a while for the water vapour to leave there. There were some droplets left on the lens, really small ones, but they've since gone since I've used the blow dryer. Time to seal up this corner up here now with silicone, and hopefully it lasts. It's actually raining outside, so I'll fit it tonight, and then in the morning I'll see if any water has sort of reaccumulated in the light. But for now I'm going to show you exactly where I'm going to seal it, and how I found out it was leaking and how I dried it. So in between the two black lines you can see drawn on the case, this is where it has some movement on the lens. Don't know if you can see it if I go extra close. You can certainly hear it. But between those points is where I need to silicone as a minimum, because that will be the area that's actually letting water in. And when you look at the back of the light, I've had to use a heater. I left it on the floor of my work van actually as I drove around for the day with the heater down at foot level, so in the footwell it was nice and warm, and that helped evaporate quite a lot of the water as well. And then I just used the hairdryer in any openings at the back to try and get the last little bits out. So I'm literally using this all-purpose clear silicone sealant. Obviously it's waterproof. I'm not going to be using the dispenser gun to push it out. I'll just get it to the tip, put a bit of it on my finger, try and rub it into the crack on the light where the water's getting in, leave it to set, and then that should be it, man. I just bought this from Screwfix, so let's go ahead and try and seal this light up. Silicone's drying around this corner here of the light. I need to not forget I've also got my new gasket to put on there, so I'll just be gluing that down in several spots. I'll show you exactly where. All of these places where there are bits of black seal left over from the old one is where it was actually stuck in place. So I'm just going to stick this one down, wait for everything to dry, and I'll be putting it on soon. I'm not too sure how long silicone takes to dry actually. I might have to quickly Google that, but there's not a lot, and I'm sure it'll be quite quick. Okay, so the light's ready to go back on now. All I did was got a bit of silicone, smoothed it along, pushed it into the case, into the crack, smoothed it again, pushed it into the crack, wiped any excess off, and here we are. There's no excess silicone, you can't see silicone anywhere. There's just the tiniest bit within the crack. That's it. It's time for the light to go on, and then we'll start it up, and I'll check it in the morning. I think it's going to rain overnight, see if it's got any water in it. Right guys, so excuse my car being filthy. I actually drove it last night for about an hour on the motorway, and thankfully this morning, it rained overnight. This morning I've looked, and there's no water or condensation in the rear light here that I repaired. I guess the real test will be when it's left for days on end and it's raining and it's parked up, and it will allow water to sort of drip back into around the corners of the light, but hopefully it won't get back into the lens since I've repaired it now. Couple of things coming up for the BMW. These centre lights here need to be buffed back up and lacquered again because they look like they've been scratched with a scourer, and my bonnet needs touching up because I get a cat sit on my car, and I think when it jumps on my car sometimes it scratches it, and it's actually scratched through the lacquer and it's peeling off a little bit. But yeah, there will be some things to come with this car as well, and obviously the Golf and the Fiesta, I'm going to be jumping back on them as much as I can. Guys, this is the end of the video. Do not forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.